Hey, everybody. It's Down Beach Buzz, the webcast for 5/27/21. That is May 27th, 2021. This is Down Beach Buzz, the webcast. And look, it's Sherri Lilienfeld, my favorite all-time realtor in Margate, Ventnor, and Longport. And sometimes Brigantine, she works over there. Hi, Sherri.
Hi.
It's Sherri. Sherri, everybody. Yeah, I know. It's great. She's amazing. And I was thinking about a theme song to get everybody fired up. My favorite song is this. You want to sing along with me?
Definitely not. Good song, though.
I'm a 70s guy. And so are you too, right?
I will never reveal my age.
A little bit more. I love that song, Beach Baby by First Class. Just in case you were wondering, that's my DJ background coming out.
Yeah.
Can you tell? I think I want to go back to those days when I was 21 on the radio, girls flocking over me playing rock and roll. It was a pretty good life. But now look what I'm doing. I'm taking pictures of paint on Amherst Avenue. What has happened to me, Sherri? It's really a mess. How did you even take my phone call years ago? Why would you even work with me? Just why? Why? You can be honest.
Are you asking me a question?
All of Down Beach is watching. So anyway, I went out on the road yesterday and I wanted to do some updates because, Memorial Day weekend is coming up and people are going to be amazed when they come down here to Margate, Ventnor, and Longport and go, wow, there's a lot of new paint on the streets of the Down Beach area. It's amazing. And before we go and get into that, I got some video as well. I want to make sure we thank Sherri Lilienfeld from Apex Prime Realty, a 5-star real estate agent. And if you're buying, what's so funny?
Just go.
She's not wearing pearls today, but it's Apex Prime. Go to apexprime.com. Homes for sale, rentals, condos. You have a commercial background and you're really good with that. And that is a good thing to know. That's apexprime.com. Is that enough of a love? Just sharing the love?
Thank you for the for the love.
You okay with that? All right, good.
Yeah.
So let's get down to work here. Let me go.
Okay.
I did some video. Let me just show you what it's like to drive from Ventnor into Margate and dealing with this road diet. What do you think?
Waiting till you get to Fredericksburg. That's where the action starts.
Yeah. So I'm in Ventnor right now, and you could tell they're saying, warning, warning, lane changes.
Yeah. It's only recently that they put those arrows down. I mean, before it was 4 lanes to 2 lanes, and there was no warning. And all of a sudden you were merging, and it was pretty dangerous. So
I feel very embarrassed because my windshield is full of pollen. So there we go. We're in Ventnor saying, warning, lane change coming up because Ventnor, the city of Ventnor has decided not to go along with the road diet concept, even though Atlantic City is going forward with that. Longport has already done that, and Margate now has done that. But Ventnor is going to take a wait and see attitude, and we'll see what happens there. But be careful because when you go from town to town, things do change. But I think the visuals and the signage and the paint and the lines do a fairly good job of. But when you see it for the first time, it gets a little nutty.
Yeah, I mean, the nice thing is the bike lanes are wider. We have a lot more people riding their bikes, and that's really a great benefit. The turn lanes are also a great benefit. It's just that area, when you go from Ventnor to Margate, you just really have to exhibit a lot of caution when it merges. People are not used to that merge.
I got to tell you, as a bike rider, I do like those wide bike lanes. I think it's almost like 5 feet, maybe 8 feet. And there's less likelihood that you will get killed by somebody opening their door as you're riding your bike by, right?
Yes, less likelihood of that. Yeah. And plus, some people do like to ride next to each other. It's not really the most safest thing to do on the road, but theoretically, you can do it, but you still must exhibit caution. Yes, and especially for the people opening up their car doors. Definitely.
So the one thing my feelings right now, I think this will help, and I know it's a controversial, very polarizing topic, but the road diets are really being implemented for safety's sake. But I do think, remember last weekend, it was really warm. We had a fair amount of cars and people down here. I think the only downside is that cars could get backed up for blocks and blocks at a red light because everything's single lane. That might be the only that's one of the downsides I might predict could be an issue.
Yeah, but it will actually help, like with the pedestrian crossing law, which is also very controversial and was meant for safety. And there's a lot of unsafe things that happen with it. But when there's one lane of cars instead of two, a lot of times you'd see one person stop and the other person not stop, and a pedestrian's trying to cross. So I think it will help make that pedestrian crossing law a little bit safer, because there's only one lane of traffic that has to stop in one direction instead of the two.
There is a lot of paint that's been put down. And what intersection? I'm right near Roberts right now. Where am I? What street is this, Sherri?
That is Douglas.
Okay, so you get to see a lot of the crosswalks are bright. So, and I see a lot of new traffic signals. So there's been a fair amount of upgrading down here, which is good news.
Yeah, I do want to say something about traffic signals and crosswalks. People do not understand that if there is a traffic signal, that traffic signal dominates the flow of traffic, meaning pedestrians do not have the right of way if there's a green light for cars to go. So please don't jump in front of the car when they have a green light. And people don't understand that. They think, oh, I'm in a crosswalk, I could just walk. No, cops and traffic lights dominate the pedestrian right of way.
This is happening all around America, where bikes are playing a greater role. We're realizing that bicycle transportation is becoming more mainstream. Yeah. So in that regard, even take a look, just maybe a foot or 2 feet right here of buffer zone between the car and the bike lane, and then a little more buffer, and then your single lane of traffic. So let's see. I know it's kind of jarring to see this, but I think in the long run, stuff like this is going to become more commonplace, huh?
Definitely. I mean, in Europe, people, in other countries, people are, like you're saying, use bikes all the time to commute to work, and it's a big part of their transportation. But yeah, now we're seeing a lot more. Actually, once the pandemic hit, bike sales skyrocketed, and you couldn't even, it was very hard to find bikes, and the cost went up. So,
well, it's a good thing. It's a good thing that Margate is finally getting those bike racks. No, it's not, still no bike racks. 5 years.
Well, they'll probably be coming next. They had to start with something. They had to start with this.
I think we're starting to learn that sometimes we should dig into our own pockets and buy our own stuff, because the moment you take money from the county or the state or the Fed, it comes with all kinds of red tape. And this is one example where freaking bike racks can't get purchased and installed. Even if they're free, hell with that. Just pay them and use taxpayer funds. I can't believe we don't have bike racks down here. That's pretty. You know what I'm going to do, Sherri? You and me, after this webcast, we're going into
the bike rack business.
No, we're going into the hardware store, and we're going to talk to Mayor Becker. We're going to get him into the aisle with all the bolts and the nuts and the.
You're going to have him make one?
I'm going to have a sit down with Mayor Becker, and I'm going to say, what's going on? Jeez. Anyway, that's the bike. Yeah. He'll call security and escort me out of the store.
Yeah. Well, I'll go in and talk to him. He does talk to me.
There you go. That's what it looks like, and we shall see what's going to happen.
One of the things I just want to mention about bikes, people on bikes don't realize that they need to follow the same rules as vehicles. They are considered a vehicle. So if you want to cross a crosswalk on your bike, you actually have to get off it and walk it, and then you're considered a pedestrian. But like riding your bike the wrong way on one way, like you have to follow the same laws as the vehicles. So that's another thing I see a lot of, and a lot of confusion. The way people use bikes and think they're pedestrians, only when you're walking it. So sorry, that's the little safety thing, the mom and me coming out and thinking about safety, and so how to put that in there.
And I think in a future podcast, a webcast, we'll talk more about the pros and the cons of these motorized bikes, because once you have a motor on anything, whether it's a skateboard or a bike, it's really not allowable on a boardwalk, but it's tough to police this kind of stuff. And we'll talk about that in the future, because that's a whole nother topic unto itself. So now we move over to Amherst Avenue along the bay, and you'll see a lot more bike line or bike lane signage. What do you think? We're right in front of my favorite place, Tomatoes, right here on Washington and Amherst. It's what do you think about this one way? It's one way now between Washington, right here at the corner where Tomatoes is, all the way down to Coolidge. And then it's all one way right into Longport.
Well, Longport, well, Longport down there was always one way. So I think it's just a matter of people, again, getting used to it. But it makes sense, and it's great because we're going to have that wide bike lane, and eventually we'll have the boardwalk there. So it definitely allows for more outdoor use, the way people are living right now, riding their bikes, walking. So it's just, again, everyone just has to get used to it. It's a little bit of an oh my goodness, what happened here, but I think it's great.
I'm taking a look at Maynard's. Didn't I see you at Maynard's at 3 a.m. one morning last summer? Was that you? That wasn't you. It was somebody who looked like
you. It was probably my daughter
okay.
who looks like me.
All right,
it was not me.
Very good. Okay, I hear you. But I walked down. I'm getting next to Sophia, so you kind of get to see how things are laid out right there on Amherst Avenue. And what a beautiful building Sophia's is, isn't it? Isn't it a nice?
I love the Spanish architecture. Yeah. Beautiful. And by the way, just to note, there is at least yesterday, there was a cop car sitting at the end of this in Longport on 36th Avenue waiting. Yeah. You're going to get down there? Sorry.
Yeah, you're going to see me walking all the way down.
Okay. Yeah. I just want people to know there's a cop car sitting there. He's trying to more regulate that people aren't going to go down it the wrong way. Because again, people need to get used to this, or he or she.
Outdoor dining is still a big deal, even though, most regulations, pandemic regulations have been lifted. I think what we learned over the past 13 months is that outdoor dining is really cool. And as you can see, the tents in front of Sophia's are quite active. This is all yesterday. So people getting a head start on Memorial Day weekend 2021, because it could be a wet and a bit of a washout this weekend, but you never know. Down the shore, weather always changes, It's
beautiful now. It thunderstormed last night, but now it's beautiful. With the restaurants, I do want to remind people to make your reservations early, because even last weekend, I personally could not get a reservation anywhere. They are really booked up. So if you have something special you want to go out, please try to plan in advance.
Okay. Or we can take a look. Here is the promenade, and you can see it's not open yet, but you can see where it is as of right now. And it's going to be pretty spectacular, even though Sherri Lilienfeld.
Wood.
well, I'm not going to go down that.
Excuse me, lumber.
Sherri Lilienfeld from Apex Prime. She is always very cognizant, very aware that all these different projects can affect adjacent real estate pricing. And but I think it's going to be a real knockout, even though I miss the old-fashioned, old-school seashore things, old boats and old docks and old ugly shack build, shanties. I kind of miss those days, but I still think this project is going to look pretty amazing. I think they've already installed lighting. Let me see if I can zoom in here. We're still waiting for, I'm going backwards all the time. Still waiting for wood. I think we talked earlier today, Sherri, that as the contractor who was chosen to build the promenade along Amherst Avenue, they are waiting for lumber supplies, to put the slats or whatever they're called on top of these.
Yep.
On top of this structure. And it could, if I'm not mistaken, Ed Dennis, who is the engineer for the city of Margate, says we might not see this completed until mid-July. And that is something that can't even be determined as being 100% accurate yet, because of the lack of resources and the pandemic, how it screwed the entire system of commerce around the world.
Yeah. I mean, I was told there was a 3-month delay on the lumber. So yeah, if you're thinking mid-July, they probably were planning, obviously 3 months earlier than that, to be completed. And it is very frustrating, and it is a result of the pandemic.
And the
just
parking, as you can see, it's a parallel parking now, so we can squeeze in more cars, right?
Yeah, it's nice. Well, it's always parallel over there.
Oh, that's right. It was, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. But now at least there's nice bright lines so you could see the parking spots a little better. Yeah, once it's completed and people are used to it, I think it would be very nice. Like, like I said, with the bikes and the walking, it's nice. Love to see Lamberti's being done.
Yeah, I want to show you some pictures of what's going on down there.
Yeah.
They're moving along there, but do we know what these things are? It looks like it's a mixture of looks like it's some sort of decorative lighting, right?
That's what it looks like. Yeah.
And you see over here to the right, I know that it might be a little too small, this white Mercedes-Benz coming in the park.
Yes. Oh, yes. That's my buddy, Troy.
That's Troy and Phyllis.
Troy and Phyllis. No, it's Phyllis and Troy. That's how they go by.
They literally tried to run me down. It was very disappointing that they would try to knock me off. But just to let you know,
wanted to say hi.
I grew up with Troy, so we're good friends.
Okay.
So, and he's a good guy. Yeah, he's driving around. The hair is, flowing back with the wind. It's kind of good.
He loves his convertible.
Yes, and you can't blame him for that. I keep losing track here where I'm going.
So I wonder if you see me, because yesterday I was down on Amherst moving some people into a townhome that looks over this.
Oh,
it's on the other side of Lamberti's.
I have a whole team that is bird dogging you everywhere. So if you think you're going about your business at Apex Prime, we know we're monitoring all of your movements through GPS and through satellite imagery. So we're doing
my late nights at Maynard's that I don't have, but
something
okay.
Like that, yeah. So we're in front of Island Aqua Park, the water park. So it's going to be. I think it's a pretty awesome, and I don't think it has caused any kind of chaos down there. But anything new is always a bit scary. We know that, right? Mm-hmm. There's a better shot of these. What are these called? They could. It seems as if they are dual purpose. They could be decorative lighting, and they also could be some type of protection that a car doesn't bang right into the boardwalk.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know. And if you look in the rear,
I don't know either.
It almost looks like a backsplash of some sort. Maybe that's not the right word, but I think it's gonna be beautiful. I was sort of against this, but the more I see it, the more I like it. What do you think?
No, I agree with you. I know there was a lot of nervousness about it when it was first brought up, and obviously the people who live across the street or on Amherst were very concerned, but it's actually better for them because now there's not going to be a big structure in front of them. There's just going to be a walking promenade, and it's nice. It does add value to the area, and Margate is a community, and that water park is great for families. So
I'm looking forward to having better and easier access to Stacy's Surf and Paddle. Anything that gets me closer to Stacy is a good thing.
Love Stacy. She's special. She's amazing.
You notice I always flirt with all the lady entrepreneurs of the Down Beach area. For some reason, I focus on that.
I didn't notice, but thank you for highlighting that.
No, I'm using the webcast to meet women. I'm going to be honest.
Okay.
You okay?
Am I going to get off this show right now? I think it's time that I remove myself.
And there's the geeter with the heater. And I always wonder what he owns. It's an amazing property here, but I hope Jerry Blavitt can be here every summer forever, if you're okay with that.
Yeah.
You sure?
I'm okay with it. I love his music.
Yeah. The geeter with the heater.
Yep. He gets them up and dancing, that's for sure.
See all these one-way signs on Amherst. A little freaky, huh? Well, you don't have to say anything, but it's a little jarring. But I think overall, for some reason, we all seem to get over these things. We see it, we get freaked out, and then we forget about it. We move on. We're a very resilient species down here on Absecon Island. Mm-hmm. I stood up on this big giant concrete block in front of Lamberti's to get a nice bird's eye view. But pretty awesome.
That's a nice angle.
Thank you. And now I walked onto the marinas behind Lamberti's, and they're working on the roof today. but you can see that we're getting close to Coolidge here. And see all the new windows? It's starting to look better, isn't it? Instead of one big giant block of wood.
Yeah.
Although I don't think anybody realized that they'd have to put Lamberti's up on a 9-foot set of concrete pilings. And that was a bit of surprise, but that is the law. According to the DEP, you have to be up at least 9 feet, at least something to that effect. And they're even trying to get you up another 5 feet because they're afraid that we all could be underwater in 100 years, but who knows? But it's unfortunate that as we try to avoid being flooded out, we have to build higher, and that's going to cause some disruption. Here we go. You like that paint job? Oh, jeez.
Yep. Those are pretty big arrows. Hopefully people don't miss them.
Now we're at the corner of Amherst and Coolidge. Oh, those arrows.
So did you get the cop? That was the next block?
I did not see him that day.
Well, he was there because I was there yesterday. I saw him.
Just getting you a little, for those sitting, for those not down the shore, aren't you? Can't wait to get down here, huh? Look how beautiful that is. Right behind Lamberti's here. Big property. And the guys up on the roof, if you can see, they are working on the roof. So it's nice to see they are moving forward.
So do you know when it's going to be done, though? It's not going to be.
Let me ask you this. So I'm going to show you some of these images. Yeah. You can see that they put in some flooring right here. I'm assuming that is some type of metal flooring. The second floor, can you see that? Is that possible? And you can see the structure of the roof. You can see the cutouts for the windows. In your estimation, and you're not an engineer, nor are you a
you're going to ask me when it's going to be done?
Yeah. What's your guess? If everything moved forward really fast, there was no supply line issues, what do you think is the earliest they could open by seeing this photo? I'm thinking a couple of months.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Like 2 months.
But then again, it's also
but they'd have to have a crew, and really be cranking.
But it is nice to see along. It is nice to see that they are moving. They're as busy as possible.
Wow, they're progressing.
Yeah, but it doesn't seem like this summer is going to be an opening for Lamberti's. But nonetheless, it is moving along because it did sit for a while. So it is nice to see activity, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's such a prime location that really needs to come to completion so people can enjoy it.
Use that men's room, that Johnny on the spot, that outhouse right there. Did you ever use that?
Did I use it?
Yeah, just wanted to know if you've enjoyed that come in handy during your
Not
walk.
for me.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure for some of those workers.
Oh, do I abhor going into those things, man? Oh, geez. I know, but when you whatever.
They have wipes in some of them now, I think.
Well, that's good to know. I'm going to make a note. I'm going to make a note of that. Is that weird seeing all these one-way signs?
I'll get used to it. Like I said, when you go into Longport, it becomes one way.
So. And I'm trying to think, what are we looking at right now? Those boards that are put in place, ready for the planks on top. What do we call those big? There's a name, but we're not builders, but
support beams.
The beams of some sort. But you can see waiting for.
They're structural support beams.
We're waiting for the planks to go on top, and then we'll have a boardwalk. I'm sorry, a promenade.
Yeah, I know. I said boardwalk before too. Yes, it's a promenade.
But it's all there.
It'll be nice when it's done.
Losing my way a little bit here.
You took a lot of pictures.
Yes, I did.
Quite busy.
There's Stacy. Anytime I can take a picture of Stacy's place, I do it.
Was she there yesterday?
I don't know. I think she's mad at me. I think there's something going on. There's some kind of tension going on. I don't want to, share that with everybody, but I just thought I would share it with you and the 500 people.
I can't see Stacy being mad at anyone.
I'm making I'm making
She's
that
so
up.
mellow.
I'm making
Okay.
that up because it's viral. Hey, Stacy, did you hear the Down Beach Buzz? They were talking about you. About what? I don't know. Some kind of tension between you and him.
Oh
No,
my
she's very
goodness.
nice. I always
I
go by.
can't see her getting mad at anyone. She's
She's
so
a very,
pleasant.
I know, and she plays great music. She pumps about it. She pumps out all kinds of 80s music from her shop there, and I always wait because I think that is so awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we're going back. There you go. That's your favorite place at 3 a.m. All I know is this
Okay.
place is known. If you really want to drink, you go here. That's what I know.
Okay. Like I said, might have been one of my children, but it wasn't me.
All right, that's our slideshow for today. But I think you want to talk about some events as we come to a close here on the Down Beach Buzz webcast with Sherri Lilienfeld. So it could be a little wet this weekend, but just in case, what are the things that we might want to consider in regards to some activities over the next few days down here in Margate, Ventnor, and Longport?
Okay. Well, first of all, I do feel people should remember what Memorial Day is for, and that's to remember the people that served our country. And there are definitely events in honor of that. On May 30th, Sunday, May 30th, at Jackson and the Boardwalk, there's a 10 a.m. service. It's right by that sand sculpture. This year they did the Purple Hearts. They've had a 9/11 sculpture. They've had various sculptures there. So at Sunday at 10 a.m., there's a service to attend. And then, of course, there's always our Margate and Longport parades. So that's on Monday, and people there are awards that are given for the most patriotic. People dress up their strollers. They wear the most patriotic outfits. And so Margate starts at 9:30, and it starts at the Old City Hall, which is on Ventnor and Washington Avenue by Wawa. And then the parade goes until across the parkway along Ventnor Avenue to Mansfield and Ventnor Avenue, where there's an All Wars Memorial, and there will be a little service there. And then at 10:45, you could go to Longport for their parade, and that's at 33rd Avenue and at 33rd and Atlantic, and then walking up to 35th and Ventnor Avenue, and there's going to be 3 princesses giving out American flags. So anyway, that's just some of the memorial activity this weekend. Also, just wanted to remind people that in Ventnor, starting Friday, there's it's the beach jams. It's from 5 to 9, and it's on Ski Beach. And for those of you who don't know where Ski Beach is, if you take Dorset Avenue all the way to the end by the bay, that's Ski Beach. And I love that beach. It's a great place for sunsets. If you've never caught a sunset at Ski Beach, definitely check it out, the end of Dorset Avenue. So that's it. Happy Memorial Day weekend. Enjoy the summer. And the activity is just starting for the crowds and the restaurants and the bikes and the one-way streets. So
right, we got it.
Be safe. Be safe.
All right, everybody, at Down Beach Buzz, go to downbeachbuzz.com. Get on our email newsletter list. Go to downbeachbuzz.com for all the news of Margate, Ventnor, and Longport. My name is Mel Taylor, and that is the lovely Sherri Lilienfeld of apexprime.com, and she's the beach baby of the day. You have a great weekend, everybody, and we'll talk to you.